Welcome back to Farm and Culture. This is Claudia, and welcome to my home. We're like in my kitchen, so I'm happy to have you. Today we're going to be discussing how to flavor kombucha. There are 4 methods that I think are the most effective that I do use at my shop, and I want to share those with you. Flavoring kombucha is definitely the most important part of the process. This determines whether it tastes good or it tastes terrible, and whether you can convert non-kombucha drinkers into happy kombucha drinkers. Because if it tastes great, everyone will drink it. The first way you can flavor kombucha is by starting with plain and adding different flavors into the batch for a second fermentation. This also helps with carbonation as well. So what you want to do is start off with your plain brew and fill your bottle. This one's really carbonated, so I'll fill it as much as I can right there. And then we'll go ahead and add the flavor. So I'm gonna add some lavender, which, this is great if you have any herbs or like a vegetable garden or some berries in your yard. This is a great way to use them. Even the lavender leaves work really well too. Then I've sliced up some ginger. You wanna leave the skin on. There's a lot of bacteria on the skin that helps with the carbonation process. So add that, and a little bit of lemon for a lemon lavender flavor is delicious. So you wanna add those in, and then fill the bottle back up. You want to get as close to the top as you can for the carbonation process. So let that kind of fill, and then you put the lid on, and you let this sit at room temperature for 24 to 48 hours. During that process, the kombucha is still feeding off of the sugar, so lemons have sugar, and I'm not sure about the other 2, but the byproduct is the carbonation. So the kombucha is still looking for the sugar, it's still fermenting, it's feeding off of that, and then that will help with your carbonation as well. Okay, so we fill this up and put the lid on, and then turn that and let it sit for a couple days, and you're ready to go. The second way to add flavoring to your kombucha is by adding juice. Super simple, just add your favorite juice to your kombucha and you're done. I'm gonna show you how to make lemon lime. This is one of our most popular flavors. It's so simple, I get so upset that this is our most popular flavor, but people love it, so it's basic. So what we do is we start off with a little bit of lemon juice. I'm just pouring a tablespoon because we're filling a small bottle. So a tablespoon of lemon and a tablespoon of lime. So depending on how much kombucha you're flavoring, I just make it equal parts. And we typically flavor like in 5-gallon batches. So we'll do like 2 cups of each juice. So we have our juice, add it to the bottle. And then you just want to go ahead and add your plain kombucha. And that's it. And this you can drink now if it's ready and super bubbly and the way that you like it, or you can put the lid on and let it sit for another 24 to 48 hours typically to add that carbonation, and then move it into cold storage. This one's really carbonated, so we're gonna give it a minute, but adding juice is definitely one of the easiest ways, and really fun too, because there's a lot of interesting juices out there and different juice blends that I don't always think of, and so it's always kind of keeping the kombucha kind of fresh and new. The third way that you can flavor kombucha, and this is a great way to fix a batch that you're like, I don't know, it needs a little extra something, or I don't know if I like the way this tastes, is by adding essential oils. So you start off with whatever kombucha it is that you want to flavor, whether it's plain or maybe it's a different flavor, and you just take whatever flavor that you want to add. This is peppermint, very strong, so you just want to do a little bit. Ooh, a couple drops of peppermint and basil. A lot of flavor. And this is nice because you're not adding juice and any extra calories basically. So that's it. You just add your essential oils and you're ready to go. Enjoy. Fourth and final way to flavor kombucha, and this is my favorite way, is by using flavored teas. So you add this flavoring in when you brew your kombucha, your first fermentation. So you're adding the flavor straight from the start. So it's definitely a little bit different, great flavor, and then you have the benefit of not having to do that second step, that extra process, and also not adding any more sugar that you have to do by using, fruit or fruit juices, or just, having to gather all of your other ingredients. So this is definitely one of my most favorite ways, and it packs a lot of flavor. So when you do your brew, we still brew with our little kombucha blend, which is, our house blend, which is green, black, yerba mate. I put some stinging nettle in there and a couple of little herbs that you can't taste. And then I pick a flavor. And this is, you can choose anything that you want. So we have a hibiscus blend that we do at the shop, which is very popular. We also have a blueberry that we've been brewing recently, which is amazing. And this is a sarsaparilla root, which is like a root beer. And if you add a little bit of ginger and you brew your kombucha with that, it's really easy to make like a kombucha root beer. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this bottle of blueberry that was brewed with the blueberry tea and the house tea. So this is already bottled. I just want to show you that it does change the color of the kombucha. It's like slightly pink. And so depending on the tea, the hibiscus will change the color, which is kind of fun too. It'll change the brew. But this is, you've got to try this. This will definitely flavor your SCOBY and your starter tea. So that's a little bit tricky, but easy to sort of manage once you kind of get the hang of it. So cheers. Feel free to experiment with all of these different ways of flavoring kombucha. The flavored teas are definitely my favorite right now. They're fast and cheap and easy just because you save so much money by using a flavored tea. It's awesome. One more quick thing I wanted to mention too is you can control the caffeine levels in your kombucha too by depending on the tea that you use. So like there are some teas out there that are super high charged in caffeine. This one says it has as much caffeine as a cup of coffee, and this one says high caffeine too because it's using yerba mate and black tea, which are super high caffeinated teas. And then you can also use like a decaf tea too. So if you're sensitive to caffeine or you have children or whatever, you can definitely take the caffeine out by using a decaf blend. So, I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's awesome. Thanks for checking us out today. I hope this helps with all of your kombucha flavoring questions or ideas. Be sure to check out the website, farmandculture.com. Sign up for the newsletter. I'm going to be sending you guys some recipes as often as I can. We're developing new flavors and messing around the kitchen almost on a daily basis, so that's pretty exciting. There's also a recommended products page, which is cool too. So if you want to just kind of take the thinking out of it, you can just see everything I suggest, and it'll just makes it a little bit easier for you. Make sure you follow me on social media and send me a message. I want to know how it's going, or if you have some new flavors that you've tried and want to share with me. I'd love that. Thanks again.